Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, Sunday morning, 10:10. Ooh, man, worked yesterday. Yeah. All points Aquarius. Not all points, but I think I saw her. I haven't seen her in years. I think I saw her with a dude. I saw her from behind. If it wasn't her, somebody looks got a body just like her. It was crazy. She had on some black spandex and some kind of yellow shirt. On the west side of town, going to the park. And I was cruising down the hill and I saw her. And I saw a dude, but they didn't see me, and I ain't beat the horn because I ain't trying to bother anybody. But it messed me up a little bit. I was like, oh man, is that Aquarius? But I don't like bothering folks, so I was like, yeah, it probably is. And I ain't bothering nobody. I just went on by. I didn't see her face, so I don't know if it was her or not. But it's hard to see somebody you love with somebody else, or love with somebody. I mean, I still got love for her because all the stuff we've been through. But I got content too. So like I'm not trying to. I'm in that crossroad where you wanna talk to her, but she don't want to talk to you. But you wanna talk to her, but it ain't gonna do you no good. You don't want to bring up old things. You definitely don't want to see somebody you got feelings for with somebody else. But it is what it is. Like that's not the only dude she fits it with. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Get mad at all the dudes? Like, nah, that's not her only dude. She made that clear. But you was just a number for the time being. You was just convenient. And that's just how some women roll. And I was convenient. And when I was inconvenient, she moved on. And found somebody else to hand dance with. That's just the way it is. The spiritual ties I have with her are still there. They're very, very, very strong. And like my spiritual ties with Aquarius are stronger than stronger probably than anybody I've been involved with. Because the reason why I say that is because we invoked spiritual ties when we were, I don't know if we were dating or whatever, but when we were sexually active with each other. But we talked a lot. When you talk, your mouth can invoke spirits no matter what you say. Every word you say, there's a word behind it. There's a spirit behind it. So when you speak, whether it's on the phone or whether it's, whether you're face to face, whether you're in the restaurant, whether you're in the throes of passion, when you speak, you're invoking. A lot of people don't know that because the spiritual realm is bigger, way bigger than the realm that we live in. And they rule this realm. So we were invoking, and we were doing wrong. We were doing wrong. But when we stopped doing wrong, those spirits didn't leave. They don't just be like, oh, I'm out. They hang around. What they want to do is they want to try to get you to do what they want. Now, let me clarify that. It depends on what spirit it is. It could be the spirit of fornicating. It wants you to go back and start fornicating with that person because of that connection. It could be the spirit of anger. It wants you to be angry because that person has cut you off. And that's why you see a lot of people killing each other when they get cut off. You see a lot of women going just nuts. And they think it's because of something biological. No, it's something spiritual. You see men shooting their women, people beating each other up, just men and women killing each other. And they don't understand that the spirit is controlling them. But when she made it clear that she had somebody other than who I saw her with, she had a few of us. When she made that clear, that spirit the spirit of anger came upon me. But I knew it. And she came back twice because one time I just couldn't control it, and I got on the phone and I started saying all kind of stuff. And, she showed up at my doorstep. Like, she never did that. She did that twice. And, she never did. I used to have to beg to see her. And then, I show anger and you show up at my doorstep. Nonetheless, it showed me something. It showed me that she likes that type of thing. And I don't. I don't like what it does. I don't like where it can take me. I don't want to be behind bars. Because when you're behind your bars, she's still going to be out doing whatever she's doing. And you're sitting in jail. And that's it. You got 10 years to do, and she's out kicking it in the club. You're like, oh, damn, like, this sucks. I did all that just to, nah, I'm not doing that. So I realized what was going on, and I don't want to be an angry dude. Like, I hate the spirit of anger. I don't want to be that dude. I don't want to fight that fight. I don't want to... fight that fight. I don't want to wrestle with chicks. I'm not trying to be that dude, and a lot of women are gravitating towards that, and they, but when you start hanging around thug dudes, you think that's exciting, but it's all exciting until somebody knocks your teeth out. You know what I mean? And that's what the spirit of anger wants. It wants you to fight each other. It wants you to hate each other. And I was like, I refuse. I will not hate this woman. I'm not going to let you take me to hell for hate. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to hate this woman. Yeah, I want to wring her damn neck, but it was my fault. Because I knew some things, but I still went into it because a girl is beautiful. And I do not get a lot of female attention. Mainly now because I don't want it. I don't go to the clubs. I don't go to the churches where they're at. I don't go around them. When I see a woman, it's at work. Other than that, I stay in the house. I go to work. I come home. I stay in the house. I don't go partying or nothing. I don't do it because I've done the dance. Pretty women are just as dangerous as anybody else. They're even more dangerous because you think they won't do it, and they can lie to you, and you want to believe it because you want that pretty girl to come back. But then you find yourself in a state of stupid, and you're like, you did it all for the nookie. And that's pretty much what we do. And you find a lot of men who are trapped into that because that's what pretty women can do to you. And good looking men do the same thing to women. But when you step out of your lane and you get one of these pretty girls, and she smells good, she's soft, she gives you all the attention you want, you don't want that to go away. You want to hang on to that. And then that's when you get trapped. And then when it leaves, you just get angry. You're just like, damn, what happened? So if you don't recognize that the spirit is behind this, you don't recognize that there are demons and devils and all kind of spirits behind what's happening to you, you'll lose it. And I could have easily lost it Friday. I could have pulled over and started a fight, but I would have looked like a complete imbecile. I would have lost in every way. Even if I won the fight, I would have never won the girl. It just wouldn't have happened. That girl is not coming back. But the spirits that still try to hang around me they don't want to believe that. They want to still be attached to her. Look, I'm so attached to Aquarius that sometimes I can see her even when I'm nowhere near her. And that's deep. I dream about this girl probably 3 nights a week. And it's crazy. I have nothing in my house that belongs to her. Nothing. but they're still here because we had such a strong tie. We talk to each other every day. We could barely go a week without talking to each other. And until another man started imprinting on her, that's the way we stayed. That's how I knew something was wrong. And when you break somebody's heart, that is another spiritual element. And when my heart broke, it broke hard because I wanted to be with her for the rest of my life. So I'm telling you this because you people are going through some battles and you don't realize who you're fighting. You're not fighting the person. You're fighting the spirit that's attached to them. And I don't mind opening up about this because I have nothing to prove to nobody. You know, she doesn't watch these videos anyways, and even if she did, I mean, it's where we are what we are. We are at odds, you know, and that's all there's to it. There's nothing I can do about it, and I'm not expecting her to do anything about it. She's happy, and I want her to be happy. That's another reason why I didn't even bother her. I'm not even sure if it was her, but I want her to be happy. I don't want her to be unhappy, especially if me be the cause of it. And that's the difference. You find a lot of people who want, you know, they're jealous, they're mad, and yeah, I get it. But they want the other person to be, if I can't have her, you can't have her. I can't have him, you can't have him. I am not that dude. I want you to be happy. You know? You know, obviously, you know, you needed something else in your life. And she went and found it, whether it was, you know, sex, whether it was money, whatever it was, you know, I was inadequate, you know, in some area, and she went and found it. And see, when somebody leaves you like that, or doesn't want to deal with you like that, or as in what she said, we can't even be friends anymore. That's crazy because we were about to have babies. Like we were about to have like 3. Like we were there, like hospital visits, everything, you know. So to say we couldn't even be friends anymore, like when that man from whatever club she met or men imprinted on her, it put her in a state of, this is better than what I had. And I spiritually felt that. And when, you know, the few times she did come to see me, I knew what was happening. But I had been here before. So what hurt me is we couldn't even be friends anymore. It wasn't that I couldn't sleep with you. It's I couldn't be her friend anymore. And that hurts more than anything. So I went to YouTube to talk it out, just like I do now. Because I've been in jail before over a woman. It's not fun. And they're just out doing what they're doing and you're in jail. But I had time to think about those episodes I had years ago and realize that who I was fighting. Yes, of course, there's a person behind it, but for her to say that, there was nothing I could do. Somebody already got what I was getting. There's already been a man or men there, and in her case, it was men. And there's nothing you could do. There's nothing like she's not going to come back to you the same. And we have to realize this. When a person is gone spiritually, that's it. Even if they come back to you, they are not the same person. And your spirit is always going to question them. It's always going to be, when they leave the house, are they cheating on me? Where are they going? What are they doing? That is a spirit talking to you. It is another body that's not a physical flesh and blood body. It's another individual talking to you. And the bad thing about it is it's there. The good thing about it is you recognize it. And just like you don't want somebody in your house, you can start talking to that spirit to kick them out. Now, it's not so easy for them to leave. Because a lot of times we invite them back, but we don't know that we're inviting them back. And we invite them back in a lot of different ways because they are far more crafty than we are. They've been at this for eons. They were born long before we were. And they have taken many of people with them by using their machination, their devices. They are smart. They've heard it all before, but they know the one thing that they cannot beat, and that's the word of God. They can't not defeat it. That's why every time Jesus or Yeshua spoke, he said, "It is written." Every time he spoke to the devil, he said, "It is written." Because they cannot defeat the word. They can't. It's not even possible for them to defeat the word. They can defeat you without the word, but when you start using the word, they can't defeat that. And the more you get into the word, the more you sharpen your sword, the better fighter you are. The more spiritual you become, and then you start seeing these creatures for what they are. And sometimes you actually see them, because I have actually seen them. And when you see them, you realize what you're up against. They're not pretty. They're not on your side, and they are there to kill you. That's what they want to do. They want to take your soul. So, I will always have a love for Aquarius. And what's really crazy is I don't even try to go nowhere near where I think she is. Because I know that I'm still attached to her. And I know that attachment is dangerous. When I said I don't go to the clubs anymore, she was the biggest reason why I didn't go to the clubs anymore. Not to mention God, excuse me, let me rephrase that. God is the biggest reason why I don't go to the clubs anymore. You're not supposed to be in those clubs. Come out from among them. If you're going to be a Christian, be separate. And I got to be careful when I say Christian, because anyways, if you want to live a life that is Christ-like, you can't be in the clubs doing it. And Aquarius she helped me in an adverse way to stop going there, because I know that's where she goes to seek out what she wants. I know that. And when she does, it's all eyes on her. She loves attention. And even though I was standing in front of her, she was always looking around to see who else was looking at her. Like I said, I was inadequate. I wasn't enough. And her insatiable lust for attention is, what drives her to those places. So I don't want to go to those places. I don't want to see the person I loved, rubbing her ass upon another man, knowing that he's taking her home or he's already been with her. I just don't want to see that, because that's what happened. She met another dude at a club, or several, and boom. And she went there to find somebody to lust in and get attention. And I was one of those dudes. But I was living in sin. I was living in sin. I was just one of the numbers. I actually seen one of the guys she replaced me for. Or I replaced him, but I didn't see who my replacement was. You got to understand that. Like, it was my fault because I wanted the pretty girl's attention. But the spirits came with it. We want what we want. But those spirits they're right there with you. And they're running the whole show. She's just a body. I'm just a body. They're trying to control us. And it hurts, and I have to live with this for the rest of my life. Wanting somebody I don't want. Wishing that could have been my wife, but knowing that it's a good thing she wasn't, because she would have done the same thing to me. And then what? Then you have, people getting killed, people getting hurt, people getting beat up, children involved, and just loss and more loss, because people aren't living according to the word. If her and I would have, met at church, and she would have been single and I would have been single, and then we would have gravitated towards each other, and married with the Lord's consent in a house of God, and stuck to the word, then it wouldn't have been nothing like that. I would have been a happily married man right now. Of course, she, that wasn't what she desired, but I would have been a happily married man right now, and we would have probably had those 3 kids instead of lost them. Who knows? She probably had kids with, You know, whoever else she met. Who knows if she would have lost, if she lost those. But when you lose those children, you still see, and that's another reason why we're connected, because she lost those children and I'm still connected to her because of those children. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you step outside of the law. You play those games and I'm paying for it. I'll pay for it for the rest of my life. This is why I'm by myself now. Because I did wrong in the eyes of God, and God forgives you, but you're still going to be judged. You're still going to be punished, and you don't have to go to hell to be punished. You can be punished right here on earth. If you don't believe it, you better start reading what happened to people in the Bible. Moses, David, Aaron. They did wrong before God, and they got punished. God forgave them, but they got punished. Peter, Paul. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about that because, you know, this is my only outlet. And I could go out there and get another woman, but I got to get past. And it's like I said, it's been years. But I got to get my spirit right. It's not like I'm hung up on her. My spirit is. I got to get my spirit right. See, we jump from one relationship, go into another, but our spirit ain't right. Your spirit ain't right. You still got remnants of somebody else in its baggage. But even though that person ain't in your house, they ain't in your life, she's on the other end of the world as far as I'm concerned. My spirit ain't right. I can't get into somebody else while somebody else is still into me. And I don't know what would make my spirit right. You know, that's why I'm trying to figure out everything. I try to go to church. I try to pray it out. I can't talk to her. That usually works when you can talk to the other individual. And y'all can just sit down and really get into it. I mean, without the fighting, it's going to be a fight, but it's not going to be that type of fight. You might be some tears, there might be some, but nonetheless, it's out. It's boom. It's like a release. That's not ever going to happen between me and that woman. Hell, she'll probably try to scratch my eyes out because she hates the way I talk about her, but I don't care about that. I don't care about her hating the way I talk about her. Because I'm just telling the truth. And this is a way that I won't go off to prison or something. I just talk about it on YouTube. She's not here. We're not going to throw fists. I wouldn't throw fists even if she was here. You know, we're not doing that. But that would be the one way for my spirit to actually settle. Is to actually have a face-to-face with her. And just get to the bottom of it. Damn, what could I have done then? But there's nothing. She's just insatiable. Even if she's with her husband right now, she's still insatiable. Trust me, I've seen it before. And it's a good chance she'll cheat on him again. But it won't be with me.